This is DJ Rubbish on the ones and twos. And I just come here to let y'all know it's about to get real filthy in this mother.
Once we get started.
No, keep it.
Keep game time. Shoot, now I dropped this. Fumbling all over the place. Alright. This is number 2 of In Todd We Trust, the podcast that reviews movies with one of my dear friends. This week, it's Kelsey.
There was a pause between that with one of my...
Yeah.
wasn't quite sure what
with
to
someone
say.
I know. A girl I once knew. This week we're reviewing The Grinch. You can stream this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or watch on YouTube. Appreciate it if you're doing any of those 3. We'll be releasing this each Thursday at 11 a.m. I had to think about the time. I think I'm going to stick with that. I think I'm going to go Thursdays at 11 a.m.
It's a good time.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thought. So I wanted to release it like when movies are top of mind.
Yeah.
So going into the weekend, a lot of movie releases now come out on the Thursday. So like they'll come out on Friday, quote unquote, but then they'll really come out that Thursday evening. So the thought behind that was so that you can have the review then, even though I'm reviewing it after the movie already released. So that actually doesn't make sense.
Well,
but that was the thought though.
It gives you a week to go see the movie.
Yeah.
So nothing's spoiled.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Or if you're like, oh, I'm never gonna go see that movie anyway. Like some people just aren't big on movies, then you can just listen to the podcast for the fun of that.
And then you can still have a conversation with someone else about it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a thought there. And then 11, right at lunchtime, you can be like looking forward to it. You don't want like if I do 8 o'clock, no one's gonna listen to it. Like 8 o'clock in the morning, no one's gonna listen to it till lunchtime anyway.
Right.
So that's the reasoning behind 11. Behind 11 on Thursday. Yeah, like I said, we're going to be reviewing The Grinch. A lot of thoughts here. Real quick bio on Kelsey. We're going to stick with the trend from last week. Her full name is Kelsey Kristen Dravick. Kelsey and I are part of a group, a fraternity?
A crew.
A crew? Yeah, a gang?
Crew.
No, gang's aggressive. I don't know if we're aggressive enough to be a gang.
A crew.
A crew. Called B Squad. It's short. I mean, that's short for something, but we can't disclose. It's kind of secret.
It is secret.
I will say that Kelsey is the outlier of the group in one way. So glad to have you on here. Next week I have another member of the B Squad actually.
Do you?
So we're just keeping it rolling.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I like it.
Yeah. So what? Wait, no. Before I ask, what do you think of the movie? Read the description you have, because the description I had was...
Yeah, I think this one's terrible. A little better. So, and I'm a teacher, so I really have a good storytelling voice here that I'm going to use for this description. The Grinch and his loyal dog Max live a solitary existence inside a cave on Mount Crumpet. His main source of aggravation comes during Christmas time, when his neighbors in Whoville celebrate the holidays with a bang. When the Who's decide to make Christmas bigger and brighter, the disgruntled Grinch realizes there is one way to gain peace and quiet. With help from Max, the Green Grump hatches a scheme to pose as Santa Claus, steal Christmas, and silence the Who's holiday cheer once and for all.
Wow, that is quite the description. Movie came out. Oh, go ahead. What were you about to say?
No, because I know everyone needed that description because no one knew what it was.
No one knew about the Grinch. Yes. If you have not seen the Grinch, I will say this before I get into the review. Go watch the other ones first, and if you're going to choose one, choose this one last. So
yes.
if that gives you any indication of
where this is going.
Yeah. Yes. It came out last week. It stars Benedict Cumberbatch as the Grinch.
Which number one, I've never heard of him until this. Yes.
What? Okay, wait. All right. So he is Doctor Strange in the Marvel movies. He also was in, if you watched any of those, he is also, okay, fair.
So that explains it.
Okay, that explains it. And then he's also been somebody, he was in, what is it called? Imitation Game.
I did see that movie.
You did? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's him.
Yeah. Okay.
So, that's crazy that you saw that and you're like, nope,
Oh.
haven't seen the Marvel movies. Not, I mean, obviously, Imitation Game was really good,
Right.
but just because the Marvel movies are like so popular,
I
you see it
know. I'm
everywhere.
just not a superhero kind of movie.
That's cool. Oh, I'm so glad you just said that because I was about to somehow forget, even though I have it highlighted in red on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. Stan Lee. That hurt me. Like, I usually like when a celebrity passes away, like sometimes obviously when anyone passes away, it's really sad.
Right.
With Stan Lee, it was like one of those people who I never met, but it like I felt it. I was like, dang, like he died, and it was like you think like they're gonna live on forever, even though he was 95. So he had a good one. So honestly,
I was
when
gonna
people
say
die,
he was in his 90s.
yeah,
so.
when and whenever I saw his cameos, I'm like, I don't know how long we'll have Stan Lee, but whenever it's someone who is like 95, when you get to 90s, it really is a celebration of life, as
Right.
they'll say, because I mean he's lived it all, he's seen it all. I'm sure he got to accomplish everything that he set out to accomplish,
Mm-hmm.
and at this point, he probably looked at it as everything is like bonus, like seeing and that. That
Right.
sounds kind of weird, but really, like you get to age and you're like, all right, this is bonus years.
Exactly.
But seriously, R.I.P. and that's gonna be a tough one,
Mm-hmm.
tough pill to swallow. So the good thing about similar to him and Dr. Seuss in that vein, their imagination is one that will live on for a long time. Like the stuff that they created, you can go on making these, whether it be Grinch or another Dr. Seuss story, come to life for forever. Like,
Right.
I can never imagine like growing up. 50 years from now, I wouldn't be shocked if my grandkids are reading Dr. Seuss books in
Absolutely.
elementary school.
And there's still a lot of popular movies of Dr. Seuss. There's The Lorax, that
Lorax
movie.
is bomb.
Yeah.
Lorax is bomb. So was Horton Hears a Who.
Horton Hears a Who.
Was good.
Yeah.
Funny story about Horton Hears a Who.
Yeah.
So, I think that's what Steve Carell is in that.
Yes.
I think that's him. So I saw Steve Carell was in it, and for whatever, I just assumed that it was gonna be like an adult version of Horton Hears a Who.
Because of Steve Carell.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, and I had to get dropped off at the movie theater, so I wasn't an adult, so I don't know. Like, I was like, yeah, it's not gonna be an adult film.
Right.
So I thought it was gonna be like a Family Guy type of deal, like Ted, like how they did
Okay,
Ted,
yeah.
like something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ted wasn't even out then, but still, that's the idea of what I thought it was gonna be. So like, I remember me and like my best friend, one of my best friends at elementary school, we go and I'm thinking it's about to be like that, and it's just like me and him there, and we're like, yo, this is like a kids movie. Like,
Right.
So we didn't even stay for the full thing. It was good, but it just was like it was a weird vibe.
Right.
And then I was like, I'll catch that when it comes on.
Which is very, very similar to how I felt seeing this Grinch movie.
Oh, you thought it was gonna be?
No, I didn't
okay,
think
okay.
not in that sense, but in the sense that I wanted to leave because of
Yeah.
the amount of kids in the theater, and I saw
Yes,
this at
oh my
4:45 p.m. on a Tuesday. So this was not a popular movie time.
That's right. So that's what you went to MJR, right?
Yes, I was at MJR.
Mistake. I made the mistake too though, because last night I went and saw it at what showing was it? The 7 o'clock showing
Yeah.
at MJR. Mistake. $5 Tuesday. I did not know that they offered $5 Tuesday. If I'd have known that, I would not have gone. I
Right.
do everything. One thing I was gonna get into later is that I feel like with this Grinch movie, the Grinch is like the opposite of me, because usually throughout the year I avoid people at all costs. Like I will go to the grocery store, like I'll look and see which one's open
At
24
times,
hours
yes.
at
When
like
no one else will be
11
there.
o'clock at night.
Yep.
I'll go early, I'll go at random days. Like I do not want to, one, I hate lines, and two, I hate people.
Right.
So those two things just those things collide when you go to the grocery store. So anyway,
Absolutely.
same thing with movies. Like I try to go to a movie, I go alone, and I try to go at like a random off time. I'm like Tuesday, and I just wasn't thinking.
Well,
And I showed up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and the kids are in there. One kid like came in, like screamed and ran out because they
Yep.
thought that was funny, and I'm like, where are your parents? And
I had a family next to me, and it was a mom, a grandma, and two kids. 5, 3, the kids, I want to say. Everything they said in the movie, the grandma repeated back to the kid. Did you hear that? He said
No.
this. Wasn't that hilarious? Oh my goodness. I wanted to leave.
no, that
And it was the theater was for the most part empty, but they had to sit directly next to me. And I
no.
purposely found a seat where
Yeah,
there's no one
That's right,
around.
because you have to reserve so that they
Yes,
just,
and I'm alone, so I don't want to be around other people, let alone other kids, and
Oh my god.
right next to me.
Wait, so this is bad, but I start, one thing I do now at MJR they have that one seat that they don't let you reserve because it's for like handicapped if someone's there and they
Do
have
you
someone.
deserve that?
No, I don't reserve. I sit there anyway. I reserved something else and I saw that one was open. I'm like, I walked in at 7:05, started at 7. What's the chances of someone coming in late and that person also being handicapped? Yeah, sit there. And the gamble, I won the gamble. So.
And you know what, Todd? You're the type of person that if someone came in, they needed it, you would move.
I would have moved. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like I would have been like, hey, I'm sorry. Like I didn't know this was in my seat. Absolutely, here you go. Like I wouldn't have been like a jerk about it. But if no one's coming, no need for me to sit by people if I don't have to.
Exactly.
So so that was my story of going to the movie. Oh, that's what I was saying about the Grinch. Yeah, I feel like he's the reverse. So like throughout the entire year, I hate being around people. But Christmas time, I love Christmas time. I love Christmas music. I started celebrating right after Halloween.
Don't say Halloween.
Well, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Halloween was on Wednesday. I started celebrating that Monday. It wasn't even.
You're that person.
I'm that person. I mean,
you have to let each holiday have its time. Is how I feel.
They can
let Halloween have its time. Let Thanksgiving have its time. Christmas has a month.
It has
the best part. A whole month. That's enough.
The best part about Christmas is the lead up to Christmas.
It is.
Like, that's the best part.
I agree with you.
With that being said, why don't we just extend that? And you can. I understand Halloween. Halloween and Christmas are two like very opposing holidays in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So it's kind of odd to like overlap those. You can overlap celebrating Thanksgiving and Christmas because the fact that Thanksgiving, other than the actual dinner, there's not like a lead up to Thanksgiving. It's like that day and that's it. So it's like you can technically there's not like Thanksgiving like there's Halloween music, there's Halloween things, there's decoration. Thanksgiving, I mean, you don't really decorate that much except for the day of. There's no music around it, no festivities other than just eating. So it's like you can easily listen to, like I can think of like Thanksgivings where we put up the tree and did decorations on Thanksgiving.
Well, Todd, you think that there's no lead up to Thanksgiving because you're not a teacher. We have a countdown.
You know what? That is true.
This many days till Thanksgiving. Like kids still get excited about it. And you know what? We have my mom and my dad have their Christmas tree up right now. And I did not help because I don't support it.
Oh.
I don't support
so you're
it.
a Grinch. Okay.
I'm a Grinch. I'm a Grinch until the day after Thanksgiving, and then I'm all about the holiday spirit.
All right.
But not until then.
All right. Fair enough. Rashida Jones was also in this, and
yes, I like her a lot.
I love Rashida. She was the mom. And then Keenan. Keenan was. Could you tell that was Keenan's voice?
No.
What? His friend, the neighbor who really wanted to be his friend.
That was Keenan.
That's Keenan.
Clearly, I don't do a lot of research into who the actors are.
I didn't even look that up to confirm. I actually probably should, but I mean, he has a very distinct voice.
Keenan and Kel.
Yes, Keenan.
No way.
I think.
I really enjoyed that neighbor a lot in the movie.
Yeah, it was funny. It was a good role for him.
Yes, that's something that was in this movie that wasn't in any of the others.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into that too about adding characters and adding like different like side plot lines that weren't in the original, like how to do that. But yeah, it is Keenan. Okay, I just had to confirm so I didn't feel stupid if someone's like, "Yo, you're an idiot. That wasn't Keenan."
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that is. Whenever you do that, like you have to just do it the right way. You can add stuff. Like I mean, even like again, you can make a parallel to the Marvel movies. Again, like they take the comic books and they expound upon it. There might be a new villain or like side villain that wasn't in the comics, or they might veer off a little bit just to keep things exciting and like you didn't see that coming. Obviously, it's based off the comics, but Marvel for the most part has done a good job with that. So I feel like you can do that. I mean, the Jim Carrey one was really good. Jim Carrey one I thought was really good. The original is, the original, like that's the best one. And what they did in 30 minutes on the original, like that was all I needed. It's perfect. The Jim Carrey one is good, but it's so like they play it a million times and then it's so long. And I love Jim Carrey, and I've seen it a million times and I love it, but it's just so long. Like some days you're like, all right, like.
Well, that's how I felt about this current one that's in theaters. It was long. I didn't need that.
I didn't need a minute. I mean, not a minute. I'm sorry, an hour and a half.
No.
I need a minute and a half.
Like you said, I needed a minute. No, 30 minutes is a good amount of time for this plot. Yeah. For this plot line.
Yeah.
I do disagree with you a little bit though. I think that the Jim Carrey one is my favorite.
Really?
If I had to pick one to watch, that would be the one I would watch.
Okay, that's cool.
I just like the realistic
The live
aspect
action
of it. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a cartoon.
Yeah.
It has real people doing it.
See, I love cartoons. See, and that's probably that's where the bias comes in. Like, I love everything animation. I watch way more animation than actual. Like, still today, I watch more animation than I do like actual people. So
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Interesting.
I think it's because from an imagination standpoint, you can do more with animation. Like, when you add actual people, you have to consider like what looks. You don't want things to look fake. And then, like, how do you integrate? And then some concepts just don't translate to. Like, I feel like almost any concept can translate, especially now that you have like adult cartoons like a Family Guy,
right?
Which, you know, that's what 1999 or something like that when that first came out. And then you have a lot of different adult cartoons like that. But even you can do that, and you can do something as like all the way down to like a kids type of whatever, a G movie. So I feel like
versatile.
It's versatile. So I think with when you have real people, you have to limit some of the, like, Family Guy, hilarious. If you did some of the stuff in like the different cutaways and stuff they do in Family Guy and apply it to real life, if you had like a real life talking dog, like in Brian, or like a baby that's talking, it wouldn't be as funny. It wouldn't translate if you had real people doing it. Like, it would look kind of silly. Especially like all those seasons. So you'd be like, all right, this is like you have a baby and you're like trying to like make its mouth move. Like, it would get, and it's like CGI. It would look really weird. So I think that's where you like limit yourself with real people. But again, I do like, not to say that I didn't like the Jim Carrey. It just came second for me.
Right.
Then with this, so Universal and Illumination Entertainment did this movie, which they've done. To me, they haven't missed. Like, up until, and I wouldn't even say this one was a miss. It just was. I just didn't need it. I guess it's the like.
Right.
Again, we'll talk about it more, but I just didn't. I didn't need it. Like, I was fine without another Grinch. With the other ones they've done, like Despicable Me, all three of those have been good. Minions, good. Sing, good. Secret Life of Pets. You know what? Someone actually said to me, more than probably 2 or 3 people in the last like month. Oddly enough, I don't know why that's been the topic of conversation. Didn't like Secret Life of Pets.
I didn't like Secret Life of Pets.
Really?
I didn't. I fell asleep in it, to be
What?
honest with you.
Yeah. See, I like Secret Life. I mean, it wasn't Despicable Me to me, but it was good though. I thought it was really, like, I saw the trailer for the second one when I went and saw Grinch, and I was like, cool, yep, I'll be there. I will be there for that.
Stay tuned for that episode.
Yeah, just be looking for that a week after that one drops. So and Lorax was also good. So I was like, someone texted me and was telling me, don't go see Grinch, like it's a waste of time, like it's not that good. And I honestly just brushed it off because I was like, I mean, Illumination hasn't given me any reason to believe that they're not going to put a good movie out, so I wasn't worried about it at all going into it.
But here's the thing, is that I would have thought that was a good movie if I didn't have something to compare it to. If there were no other Grinches before this, and this was an original movie on its own, I would have thought that was fine. It's just because I was constantly comparing it the entire time to the other Grinches.
Yeah.
It was not a bad movie by any means. It's just, in comparison, it's not as good. Yeah. That is the best way to sum it up. What did you think about the release date? So someone also, and I probably already know the answer to that because of the reason that we already discussed. Yeah, it's too early. Give Thanksgiving a shine. So yeah, did you think it was too early? Someone said that to me. I did. Okay. I do. I think that if you really want the audience to come and that the results that you want from it, it needs to match the season a little bit better. Yeah, it is like you do have to release. I mean, even soundtracks, will release a little bit closer to Thanksgiving. I think usually. I know John Legend just released one. I think what was that, 2-3 weeks ago? Whenever it was, I downloaded the day it came out, and have been listening to it since. If you have not downloaded, please go download. John Legend didn't pay me to say this. But he would accept the cash. I would definitely accept it. So John Legend or Chrissy Teigen, if you're listening to this right now, I will give you my Venmo. I would say it right now, but I actually don't remember my Venmo right off the top of my head. Why would you not give away your Venmo? If someone wants to send you money, go ahead. Yo, I need to put that in the podcast description. Link in bio. Yeah, honestly, the only reason I wouldn't do that is because everyone would just be like, "Oh, I'm just about to request them and think they're funny," and then I have like 30 requests for money that I have to sift through. And now my friends who already follow me on there are probably gonna do that anyway now. Yeah. I'm on my way right now. Request for doing your podcast show. Yes.
What did you? Okay, so I know you said we had to talk about this before the podcast. The soundtrack. What did you think about Tyler, the Creator?
Talk about the soundtrack. It was amazing.
Okay,
if there's one reason to see this movie,
yes,
it's for the music.
Tyler's song. Okay, so I like Tyler's like "You're Me" with Mr. Grinch, but then the song I don't know the name of it yet.
I'm the Grinch. There's one that's
is that
called
the one
just
at the end?
I'm the Grinch.
Okay, that's the one I think that comes on at the end credits.
Yeah,
I was walking. I was like, oh wait a second.
Yes.
You stepped back in this.
Like
He's like actually rapping.
I would listen to that song for fun.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Individually,
Yes.
pre-game.
Yes, absolutely. It doesn't even have to be Christmas time. I just love the music, the beats, the everything about it. It's amazing.
Yeah, so when it first comes on, and because Pharrell produced that, so clearly Illumination has some type of either deal or really good working relationship with Pharrell because he did the soundtracks for all the Despicable Me's as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not a bad guy to have producing stuff. I mean, he's definitely one of my favorite producers. So when I hear him come on narrating, because Pharrell narrates the whole thing too, I'm like, oh, do I like this? And then I'm like, yeah, like 5 minutes in, I'm like, yep, I do like this. Like Pharrell has a very welcoming voice,
right?
And then him producing the album was good too. Having Tyler on there. See, I like weird pairings, like Tyler and then a kids movie. Like that is like no, like I want him nowhere near a kids project. You would think, right? I mean, his perception has changed a little bit too over the last honestly with the last album. Like the last album was way, I guess, lighter than like his other albums are like way more disturbing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I guess that's part of his like rebrand too. But yeah, no, it was good.
It really modernized it.
Yeah, they might. So I didn't mind that at all. I didn't mind that. Speaking of modernizing it, there were like parts where I could see them trying to be like more PC or more inclusive. Like first of all the Who's weren't just white. Like I realized, like I was like, wait, like that, like they have like that biracial Who. Like I was like, it's just funny how you do that with like with a made up species, but like you can tell, like
exactly.
Even the neighbor had like a beard, like they all like kind of generally look the same in like the cartoon, and even like in the Grinch one, they all had very similar, like they all had like the very high hair and everything like that, and they didn't do that with Cindy Lou this time.
I know, and that was something that I wanted to talk about too. Was I was very upset. I just feel like they tried to make all the Who's, they're just like people.
Yeah,
they weren't Who's, and in every other Grinch movie, the Who's didn't look like people.
Right.
They had certain characteristics or certain features that made them different.
Yeah.
And the hair in Cindy Lou is so important.
That's
important. A crucial part of the story.
Yeah, don't change that up. Yeah, that is crucial. And
don't give her 2 pigtails and expect me to be happy about it.
Who is she? That's the thing. Is like they showed her. I'm like,
I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't. And they were like Cindy Lou, and then she didn't have like the Cindy Lou vibe. I don't know. It just wasn't. I wasn't grabbing. Oh, this is something funny I saw. Speaking of them looking like people, so what did I look up? I think that's what I was trying to look up. Grinch description. So one of the things that one of the like people also asked thing on the box on Google was, what species is the Grinch? It's like, what? Who asked that? Like, and multiple people asked this because obviously if they're putting up as a suggestion, there are thousands or millions of people who have asked this. And it says the Grinch is actually the same species as the Who's. He's a different subspecies though, explaining his greenness. The Grinch kind of Who are actually quite numerous, but live quite a distance away from Whoville. What? Who? What research was this based off of? Like,
they had to ask Dr. Seuss.
Right?
You have to ask Dr. Seuss.
Oh
himself.
My god,
that's hilarious. Yeah, I have no idea.
The like retort, the Grinch kind of Who are actually quite numerous. Like that retort is like, what? What? Like someone got like upset. Like, how dare you ask this?
Well, someone just made that up.
Yeah, 100%. I love the way they put it together though, because it sounds like it had me thinking like, man, this whole time, like, then I was like, wait, Todd, no, that wasn't in the book. This person clearly made this up.
Made that up. That reminds me of a meme that I saw this week that said, like, think about that someone just made up the noise a dinosaur makes without ever hearing it.
I saw that too.
That's essentially what that guy just did. He just made it up.
That is true, and I was just like, dang, like like that is completely like they could have had like squealing voices or something like that.
That hit me hard.
Oh, that is funny.
I haven't recovered.
But
all right. Speaking of Cindy Lou too.
Yep.
How familiar, Todd, are you with the soundtrack of previous Grinches?
That is a good question. I'm not like super. I mean, at the time probably yeah, but like I like right off the recall, I don't know.
Where Are You Christmas?
Yes, that is
You
great.
recall that song?
Yeah, 100%. I would sing it right now, but my voice is itchy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good excuse. That song wasn't in this movie.
Yeah.
And that was my favorite song from both of the prior Grinches.
Yeah. Was it in the first? Was Rory Christmas in
Yeah.
the first one?
I think so.
Are you 100%
I don't
sure
know.
about that?
I just
I
looked
think
up.
that's just the second one.
Are
I mean,
you
that's-
sure?
I mean, great song still. Great
I
song still, but I
I'll
think
look
that's
it
just the
up.
first one. I need to add it to my Christmas playlist. I have a pretty good Christmas playlist, so I need to remember to add that. Yeah,
You might be right.
I think it was only first. The Who song though was, I don't even know how to say it in the Who language, but the Welcome Christmas.
Oh, that like yeah, they sing that in that movie.
Yeah, they
Where
say
they
it.
hold hands. The way
Yeah,
they
they
hold
hold hands,
hands.
yeah.
In a circle.
They added a little something to it though. I think there was like a line or two. I was like, someone's freestyling. Like, hold up.
The only line that was supposed to be in it is the Fahu Dori or whatever.
Yep, there it
And
is.
Welcome Christmas, Christmas time, I think is what it says. Welcome Christmas,
Christmas Day. I don't know.
Christmas Day.
Mm,
Going back to Where Are You Christmas, you're right. That song was released in 2000.
yeah. So
But
1966 is the first Grinch, I believe.
that song is non-negotiable for me.
Okay. Yeah. Not moving forward. You hear that, Illumination Entertainment? How dare you?
Non-negotiable.
Yeah, that also brings into mind like how well the first one aged. Like 19 again.
It was 1996 when that first one came out?
1966.
I was going to say 96.
Yeah,
There's no way.
66.
66.
That, you know what? Again, going back to cartoons. Cartoons age so well. And anyone who's of my generation and who is like, yo, my favorite movie is like this black and white. No, it's not. No, it is not. Shut up. Yeah, like, I hate when people are like, yo, this, whatever. I don't know. Name any black and white movie that came out like the 50s or 40s or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's my favorite. No, it's not your favorite movie. Those
How do you
I
know?
can't watch those now. Like,
How do you know?
can we get some more? Actually, there are some old movies that I do. There are a couple, but maybe not that old.
I mess around with some old movies.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your favorite like old movie?
I need to think of the name.
Okay. Cartoons are timeless. I think
It's
like
not a
Snow White.
cartoon.
Snow White came out in like the 30s. I think it's aged perfectly.
Don Knotts. You know Don Knotts? I was a
I do
big,
not.
growing up, I was a big Don Knotts fan. And he, like the movies that he was in came out in, so the one I just looked up came out in 1966.
What?
And when I was in elementary school, I asked for a set of his movies for Christmas,
What?
and I got them. They were my favorite. The
Oh
one
my
that I'm
God.
thinking of is, there was The Incredible Mr. Limpet, The Ghost and Mr. Chicken.
No, I'm not looking.
Yeah,
at
so
that.
these are all in the 60s.
I don't even want to give them a Google search.
I literally asked for them for Christmas.
What? How
That
did you
was-
come across? Like, did your grandmother like what used to watch or something? Like, how did you come across
I
these
think
films?
that when I used to stay at my grandma's house during the day, she used to play those channels that have what's like TV Land and like
Yeah.
those movies that were on there, and they're actually pretty good.
Oh my God. You know what they probably are. I mean, not to say like if it was old, it's not good, but it just is like with the current technology, sometimes it's hard to go back. I mean, there's movies that. Oh, that's not fair though, because there's old movies like the original Willy Wonka.
Right.
Like that looks old, but like I don't care. Like that is amazing. Wizard of Oz,
Right.
another classic for me that I watch. I mean, I watch those like often. Like,
Exactly.
so that's actually not fair of me to say. It's just like really my preference and which ones you're allowed to watch. So
Right.
it's not fair. What else was I about to say? I was gonna say something. You were talking, and I was gonna say something to you about I don't know. Well, anything or anyway. 53 years old. Did you peep when he said he was 53? The
Who,
Grinch?
The Grinch?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
I was like, whoa, this is, it took a kind of a dark spin like on the Grinch, and I know you said that you were expecting to be sadder. I was not expecting to be that sad, like, because usually the Grinch was like either go one way or the other, like they kind of teetered it where instead of making him really really mean or really nice, and you go one way or the other. Like either you make them, like I said, you either go really mean or you go the nice spin, like you do in like Wicked or Maleficent, where it's like, yes they seem mean, but this is why they do the things that they do. But him, it was like just more like it was kind of depressing. Like they go back, he was an orphan. I know in the second one they kind of did that, like go back and show you why he's the Grinch. But he was still like he was super mean. He was feared. Yeah. That was another thing. He was feared. Like people saw him and it was like that's like you stop talking.
But it wasn't like that in this
movie.
No,
this dude's just like rolling to like the grocery store. No one knows who he is. Like at least the other Grinches has some fame. This guy has like no clout. Like he can just walk in anywhere and no one.
Right.
You know that guy. Like no. It should be like that's the Grinch.
Yes.
Like
he was way more isolated in other movies where he didn't have any interaction with anyone else. But in this movie, he was just out and around in the town.
He's a sad orphan. He was a sad orphan. He wasn't even that mean. He wasn't that mean to his dog. He didn't do that much mean. Like in the grocery store when he knocked that can over, that was like the meanest thing he did. And then like obviously, and then actually like stealing Christmas, which he had to do that. Obviously the movie couldn't have like watered that down. Like he had to steal Christmas. That's the whole point. But yeah, I don't know. He just kind of felt more like sad than he was like mean. So
I wanted to be sadder. I wanted the flashbacks of him from childhood, getting bullied in school.
Yeah, you said I thought you were about to say beat. I'm like, whoa.
No. Getting bullied in school, where you really understood why he was the way that he is.
Yeah.
Where I just didn't get that in this one. It was just like, okay, he was an orphan, but
and was no one else in the orphanage? Like you saw when he was like in there, he like was walking through them. Like was there any care? Was he just in an abandoned orphanage by himself? Like that would have been super sad. Now like he.
Right. I think that's what they were trying to make you think.
Orphan's orphan.
They skimmed out. Is that the right word? Skimmed out?
Skimmed down?
Skimped.
Oh, skimped.
Is that the word I'm like? They skimped out?
If you can spell it, you can use it.
And characters, though, because do you remember Cindy Lou is supposed to have like 12 brothers and sisters? Don't you remember her being tucked in bed and they're like all like in a row at night?
Yeah.
And it was just
she's had the twins. And the twins, I think the twins were biracial. So
did you?
I think they had a little different hair pattern. So interesting. So maybe we'll have like a spinoff with Rashida Jones and the mom and just showing her story.
I like that.
So that was another thing where they try to be like progressive. Like her mother was like a single mom.
Right.
So I don't know if they try to do that.
I don't remember if if Cindy Lou's mom was a single mom.
If it came out in 1966, I doubt it. You know what I mean? And then them highlighting like, my mom does so much and she's so strong. Like that's definitely that definitely is something that they added in this one, like intentionally.
That's another thing that I didn't remember, why she wanted to meet Santa in the other movies. I meant to look into that. I can't remember.
It wasn't because my mom is working her tail off as a single mom. Which is, I'm not saying that like that's good, like that they're trying to like incorporate and like show all American families. Like they're not just gonna keep it in the same box. But with that being said, it was definitely intentional. Like I noticed it.
Right.
Like I noticed it. It was again making the Who's like all different races. Like that was intentional.
Absolutely.
So just something to note. What was that? What was the other thing? Yeah.
On a side note, the only reason to see a Grinch movie for me ever was for Max, the dog.
Yeah.
Because I love Max.
Okay, I like Max in this one too. I still like this Max.
But another character in this movie stole my heart a little bit more.
Oh, that Frank.
Fred.
That's
Who's Fred? Oh my gosh, I loved him.
Fred was awesome.
I loved him. He's this big fat moose, and he was so funny.
Fred was awesome. Also, like, did he just like leave his family for a little bit?
He did. I think that they're trying to just portray him as like this big, like, goofy, dumb moose who doesn't really know what's going on. So
his hair, and his son's hair.
A spin-off with Fred.
I will watch. I would definitely go see it.
Oh my god, that's a moneymaker right there.
I would definitely go see Fred the Moose.
Yes, I would too. Just like how Despicable Me had the Minions do their whole spin-off thing.
That was bomb. Like I said, they haven't missed. So yeah, the Minions was good too. Yeah. And they had, who was that as the villain was what is her name? Blindside.
The mom in Blindside?
No, yes, the mom in Blindside. What?
Sandra Bullock?
Sandra Bullock. Yeah, she was the villain in Minions.
Oh really?
Yeah, that they like were partnering with. Whatever. So that was good. In summary, in conclusion, I feel like I'm like writing a paper. To conclude everything, you try to figure out like different ways to say it each paper. I'm like, no, you just use the same one.
Whatever one makes the word count longer.
You're right, exactly. Exactly. Take the font up maybe a little bit.
Right.
So I think do you say it's worth going to see?
I would say if you have some spare time and you're looking for something to do, it won't hurt you.
$5 Tuesday.
$5 Tuesday.
So MJR, if you're in Detroit, or I don't know if they have MJR other places. If they don't, if you're in Detroit, $5 Tuesday. I just found out I did not know they offer $5 Tuesday. I showed up thinking I was gonna pay full price at $13. Showed up, $5 and free popcorn.
There was not free popcorn at my
Free.
MJR.
So okay, you have to have an MJR
Rewards card,
which I did not have. And he was like, "Do you want to sign up?" I'm like, "How quick is it?" He's like, "It's pretty quick." He lied. It wasn't quick, but I still did it. And actually, you know what? And this is even stupider. I didn't even get the free popcorn because it was a line, and I hate lines. So I go up, I check him, and he's like, "Yep, just give me your phone number." And I was like, "All right, cool." Turn around, see. And when I say line, it was like 3 people. And I was like, "Nope, not waiting." And then go sit in the handicap spot.
You're not dedicated enough to the popcorn.
And then I came out. I was like, "You know what? I'll trick them. I'll show them. I'll get popcorn on the way out."
Did you?
It was a line. So I got no popcorn yesterday. But I did sign up for a card. That took me a lot longer than I wanted to take. But for next time, next Tuesday. So,
great. Well, now that you're doing this movie podcast, you'll be seeing a lot of movies. You'll put it to good use.
I'm glad you said that. Okay, Movie Pass. I've had Movie Pass subscription since what was that? Maybe May. I've had it, I think. Originally, don't get it. So that's first. Do not get it. So I got it then when it was good. So I got it then. It was $10 a month.
Unlimited, right?
Unlimited movies.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, one a day. So basically unlimited.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So one a day, $10 a month. You pay month to month. So there's no startup fee, nothing. Like you pay that $10, you're good to go. You can cancel at any time. Awesome. Too good to be true. Which it was because turns out it was too good to be true. Midway through the summer, they were losing. I mean, they had been losing money the last several years, but I think they were expecting a quicker return on investment, which they did not get. So then they had like blackout days, or like some days you can no longer see a movie if they like ran out of money, and then they changed if you went at certain times it was gonna be you had to pay extra. Like they were just going through all this stuff that they were like changing weekly. I was getting like updates like, hey, if you have a subscription, it's now this. So then finally, I think it was August, they switched it over from a movie a day and to just you get 3 movies a month, which still is great for $10 a month, but it's terrible compared to what it was before.
Right.
So they have the research like 80% of customers actually don't go to more than 3, so it really only affect 20%. Well, I'm like, okay, well I'm at 20%, so F you. But anyway, kept my membership anyway because I'm like, all right, three times a month. Work's getting busy. I probably won't go that often anyway. So now I go to like the last couple times I've gone to see a movie. It's been blacked out. Like there's no available times. So I'm like, if you're not doing that, then I'm just giving you $10 for free. Like I can't. Exactly. It's like random times where it will come up. Like one day I was gonna go see Grinch Sunday.
Yeah.
I think it was Sunday. Look at the show times. Earlier in the day, cool, it's available, never available. I was shocked. Walking out the door, look again, they had ran out of money for the day, couldn't go. So wow. With all that being said, do not get Movie Pass. I think there's another one. I have to research. I'll let you all know next episode. I can't remember the name right off. That's a better alternative that offers. They do have that doesn't get turned away, and then they offer I think a similar plan, and then also offer a $30 a month to see 30 movies a month.
Well, that's a good deal.
That's still a great deal. Obviously,
a
$1 movie is nothing. Yeah. So it's super worth it if you go see 3 movies, you get your money back because at full price they're anywhere between $10 and $13 now.
It's expensive.
So
to go to the movies.
Yeah, it definitely is. So I mean, I might look into that. We'll see. But for right now, I'll be doing $5 Tuesdays at MJR. Catch you there. So after that, what movies are you most excited for coming out within the next couple months?
So, being a girl, that I like, and not to speak for all girls, like really emotional movies, but I like to cry.
Okay.
I like to be a little depressed leaving a movie.
Okay.
So, there was, what movie did I see? I saw a different movie on Saturday, too. I saw Beautiful Boy.
Steve Carell?
Yes.
I have to go see that.
Yes.
That one is not black. So some indie films are not blacked out on Movie Pass because like a lot of people don't go see them. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I saw that, and this was a preview for that movie because I'm not really interested in any of these kitty previews that I saw at the Grinch. But so there's this movie, that's coming out at the end of November.
Okay.
It's called A Head Full of Honey.
Okay.
And it's about this old man with Alzheimer's, and he can't remember that his wife died, and his grandson has to take him on and to go through this trip down memory lane. It looks really depressing.
I mean, so it's
really good.
A kind of Notebook.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
But his wife has already died this time, and he just can't remember. He just, in the preview, we kept asking where she was.
Okay, that's gonna hurt.
I know.
Wait, so is the whole? I mean, as morbid as this is,
Let's see.
I mean, the best ending to that is he dies and then goes on to be with his wife. I mean, I think that's the best ending you could have for something like that.
Yeah.
Tell me this: during the movie, is it? I don't know if you can tell this in the previews. I'm sure you could. Is it just? Are we watching a series of flashbacks similar to the Notebook?
No.
Oh.
It's all in present time.
Oh, okay.
From the previews. So the description says that Tilda takes her grandfather on one last adventure before he's put in an old people's home due to Alzheimer's disease.
Interesting. Okay. I'll be interested to see how that. Oh, I might go see that. I'm definitely go see Beautiful. How did you like Beautiful Boy? You said good?
I liked it.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
That did not sound convincing, but I'm gonna go see it anyway.
I liked it. I mean, it was a little slow at parts for me, but I did enjoy it.
Okay.
I wasn't mad that I saw it.
Okay. Good. All right. So I will check that out. Movies that I have movies that I'm excited about coming up like soon, and then I have a trailer that I'm super pumped about.
Okay.
Creed 2 comes out next week. Pumped about that. Like the first one. I want to be a huge Michael B. Jordan fan. I think he acts the same in every single movie, but it works for Creed. So I'm happy about it. Excited about Creed 2. Mary Poppins. Pumped.
Yes.
Mary Poppins Returns, to be exact. Pumped about that. Emily Blunt. Wow. Okay, my voice sounds way better now. Like half the part.
Oh, now it's soothing. I could fall asleep to that voice,
Wow.
Todd. This one. Yep.
Yep. This Todd is. Yeah. This is when I'm really. This is when I'm at my best.
This is the Todd we know and love.
I'm sorry. Yeah. That other Todd was in me. Now that we're 30 seconds away from being done.
Yeah.
Toy Story 4. That trailer.
Yeah. I haven't seen the trailer though yet. I keep seeing all of these. I know. I shouldn't admit that.
So, yeah.
I keep seeing a lot of posts about it and a lot of things coming up on my news feed.
Yeah.
And I just haven't pressed the play button yet.
Take the time. It's not. I mean, in all fairness, it's not like a trailer. Like, it's more like a teaser type of deal. Like,
Yeah.
you don't really get much. You don't get any info.
It's like a 30-second.
Literally. I mean,
Yeah.
it's 60 to be exact, but you don't get anything. It's like slow motion, just like them all like arm in arm, like jumping. You don't really get much from it. I'd say, like, if you want to wait, I just got pumped because it just finally got announced. Like, I saw info about it coming out next year, but hadn't seen like an official movie poster or any teaser about it.
Yeah.
So I got pumped about it. That's gonna be a tearjerker as well. Yeah, so it's gonna be a tough one, but I'm definitely gonna be. I went and saw the third one twice.
Did you? I did see the third one in theaters.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think I've seen. When did the first? I don't know when the first one came out. I vividly remember going to see the second one and third one. And the third one came out in high school, but the second one I remember my dad taking me to go see. So, all right. Well, I think that is everything. Do you have anything else that you want to address the public about?
I don't know. I'm not used to being on such a public platform here.
I know, man.
I know. This
It's
is
a ton
exciting.
of people listening.
Thank you for having me as your
Absolutely.
guest, Todd.
Thank you for coming up. Yeah, such short notice too.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that is it on episode 2 of In Todd We Trust. Until next week.